Okay. What's up, YouTube family? Forever Foy. Today is going to be a short and sweet video for you guys. Chest and arms. Right here, we're starting off with dumbbell flies. I warm up considerably low. I think I started with like 20 pounds or something. Just warm up the rotator cuffs and get a little bit of blood pumped into that chest. Slower movement to protect my shoulders. Notice how I'm not going all the way up because, again, like I always preach, we're playing with gravity here, guys. So there's nothing, if your joints are locked out, there's nothing up there. So I'm just going as deep as a stretch I can feel without compromising any shoulder rotation. Just a deep stretch in my chest and bring the weight back up. Next, we moved on to Smith machine press, incline Smith machine press. A couple sets of these. I think it was just 6 reps, maybe about 4 or 5 sets. Went considerably heavy here. Reason I choose Smith is because it takes out the stabilizing muscles, so you can focus more on just pumping that chest out. Worked up to 315 today. It's feeling pretty good. Maybe, like I said, I think it was like 5 sets with 315. The one thing on the Smith machine that I would say is you really have to find that sweet spot, or you'll start feeling an impingement in your shoulders. You just got to move that seat around while you're up under the weight. I usually start off with no weight at all just to try to get the perfect angle and right up under the bar. So notice I'm not going too deep. I don't want to get into my shoulders. Just deep enough where I feel a stretch in my chest and not a full lockout, because I don't want any of that weight in my joints. Next, we moved on to cable flies, which is again, not compromising, going back too far, just enough to feel that stretch in my chest and squeeze. Usually when I do cable flies, I'm not ever thinking about trying to bring my hands together. I'm thinking about trying to bring my elbows together. I feel it more in my chest. It's easier for me to pump more blood in my chest with that mind muscle connection of just trying to touch my elbows. With these guys, you really want to find a weight that you can control. Not too heavy, but definitely not too light. And try to pump as much blood into the muscle as you can. Moving on to straight bar curls. I love these, man. I just feel a crazy pump in my biceps whenever I do these. If you notice, my elbows are in front of my body to take out the rotation in my shoulders, and to put more stress on that bicep tendon. Well, not the actual tendon itself, but the bicep itself.
5 cents of fucks, cuz.
With these, every setup, you notice my first movement is to put my arms in front of me, elbows in front of me rather, and keep them in that position throughout the whole movement. Bring them up to the full squeeze. Squeeze at the top. You want to squeeze that blood into the muscle at the top, and lock them shoulders in place. Don't let them swing or sway. Lock them in and get those reps out. Moving on to yeah, I don't know what in the fuck she was doing. We definitely had to get that in the clip, though. You see this bullshit all the time at these commercial gyms, though. I don't know what people even come here for. Like, you in the way. Anyway, we move on to a V-bar push down, which you'll see on I do rope push downs after these too, but you'll see that the angle on the V push down, it took me a long time to get a mind muscle connection with these. I never really felt it in my triceps. It just took years of experience of me just trying to find that sweet spot and what works for me. What works for me is a heavy load and full control and lockout of my elbows. Also notice that there's no rotation in my shoulder whatsoever, and I'm pushing the cable into the machine, not into my body. When I push it into my body, my shoulders rotate in and I don't feel that tension on my tricep. Again, guys, this is just a big experiment. Bodybuilding is a experiment. Everybody's body doesn't work the same way, and every muscle you're not going to hit the same way. You have to find what works for you. This is what works for me. Pushing into the machine and getting a full stretch up top, controlling the weight, not letting it swing and let go. You know your negative is your strongest part of the movement anyway, so you definitely want to control that. And just pumping those reps out, man. Pumping them out. Squeeze. So now we move on to a superset, which will be easy bar reverse curls into rope push downs. If you notice, I have fat grips on there. The fat grips just make it harder to grab the bar, which is going to activate a lot more forearm. The forearm pumping is insane with those fat grips. Thumbs up. It's a thumbless grip because I don't want any tension anywhere else but in my forearms. Now this is what I was talking about, guys. Notice how in my push downs I'm standing straight up. That's what works for me. I feel it on the outside of my tricep incredibly like that. When I lean over, I don't know why. Maybe the way my mechanics are, but when I lean over in a rope push down, now, not to mention that I do switch it up and I do try to hit all angles, but I feel it more when I'm more erect in the rope push down and just pumping those out that way. I feel it on that outside of my tricep, which I'm really trying to bring up. And that's what works for me, guys. You gotta find what works for you.